clouds swooping in today. Just drizzling just a little bit sometimes, but not now. And with that in mind, what's going on today? Actually, quite a bit of fascinating stuff. How about this first one, where apparently it shows a video of a water drone of sort that's going to attack a fleet. This one says massive drone attack on Black Sea Fleet, Russia. And again, there's an actual video of it. If you look at it, it seems like it's being fired at. That's what it looks like anyways, but it's completely missing whatever's firing at it. It says here, Ukraine has carried out a massive drone attack on the Black Sea Fleet in the Crimean port city of Sevastopol, damaging one warship. Russia says 9 drones were used. A top official said Ukraine has not commented. Without providing evidence, Russia accused British troops of being involved in Saturday's attack and in blowing up gas pipeline last month. In its response, the UK Ministry of Defense said Russia was peddling false claims of an epic scale. Who knows what's going on there, but yeah, just kind of crazy. There's actually all these sea drones and stuff now. I guess the war never will end anytime soon, it seems like anyways, right? War usually means conflict, and how about other types of conflict? And it was kind of interesting to see this, where apparently in China, they're doubling down again, I guess, in terms of their no COVID policy, and they're locking everyone down. Like this one says, Chinese cities double down on zero COVID as outbreaks widen. Chinese cities from Wuhan in central China to Xining in the northwest are doubling down on COVID-19 curbs, sealing up buildings, locking down districts, and throwing millions into distress in a scramble to halt widening outbreaks. China on Thursday reported a third straight day of more than 1,000 new COVID cases nationwide, a modest tally compared with the tens of thousands per day that sent Shanghai into a full-blown lockdown earlier this year, but enough to trigger more restrictions across the country. I still think it's strange for any place that's trying to go for a zero COVID policy per se, because I think it's been kind of universally agreed upon now. The lockdowns and so forth didn't really work, and it's doing more harm overall. That's what a lot of people say anyways. And at the same time, you've seen, for example, some of the videos of them using drones to tell people to stay inside and all that. But there's just so much more. Like now, imagine driving through the highway and there's these flying drones with QR codes where apparently, I guess, drivers need to scan this as a way, I suppose, to inform them, hey, this is where you are. Is this person allowed to drive through and all that? All in the name of this zero COVID policy per se. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? These examples are kind of why it's scary to go too overboard with this stuff. You could say it's, quote, in the name of safety, but like here, having people have to drive the car, scan QR codes to make sure you're allowed to drive there because of your, quote, I guess, things like COVID status and all that. I just see it being easily abused, where if someone doesn't like someone, they can just use that as an excuse to pull them over and all that with all this tracking. In a lot of places, you actually can't use your phone while you're driving because it's against the law. But either way, in these cases, in my opinion, this is going a bit too overboard, wouldn't you say? And the last thing I read was kind of interesting. Apparently here in Canada, this Bill C11 thing is being brought up again. It's essentially the government proposing that platforms, for example, like a YouTube, they need to be regulated, I guess, in the name of promoting things like, I don't know, Canadian content and all that. But the worry would be that would just be a government's way of controlling, let's just say, who they're gonna push what information and so forth. So it seems like YouTube's spending a lot of money, like with these ads here saying your YouTube feed is uniquely yours. Bill C11 could change that. Click on the link to learn more and so forth. It's just like a bunch of videos and all that. So at first you could think, okay, well, they're just telling you guys to like go against this and all that. If you believe people should just be open to do what they want per se and have a choice, but the reactions from people, they're calling like YouTube like a hypocrite and all that. Like just read some of these comments. Like this guy writes about here, really, you have been censoring people's videos on here for the last 2 years and now you have a problem with this bill. Hypocrites. And it says the difference is that instead of a private company dictating what is posted on their websites, it would be the Canadian government deciding what they're allowed to post, and it would have nothing to do with the community standards. All in all, the argument seems like people are saying both sides want to do that, to be the person that says, for example, what should be pushed, what shouldn't, I guess ultimately what's true, what's not. So in the end, I just think it's better just to be, quote, neutral in these instances, unless it's something really blatant, like somebody threatening someone's life and all that, that's a little different. But in terms of stuff like this, it doesn't seem like a good idea so far, in my opinion anyways. Alright, see you guys later.